Welcome. Here's what's happening this month at Inglewood Community Church. Now, it's been a while since there's been a church camp. In fact, the last one was in 2007. Well, since then, the Bedford Baptist Church and the Inglewood Church of Christ have merged. The exciting thing is there are a lot of new people coming to church, staying and wanting to get involved. But it also means there are a lot of people who don't really know each other yet. Well, what better way to fix that than a church camp? And it just so happens we've got one planned and you're invited.
Plenty of time for you to just chill out with a cup of tea, a cup of coffee and talk. We encourage you to chat with someone you haven't met before or you haven't had a chance to talk to yet. Of course, there's Lake Leschenaultia, that is 5 minutes walk from the camp, and there'll be plenty of time, especially on the Saturday morning, to take the family, take the kids down to Lake Leschenaultia, a beautiful place to swim. Paddle kayaks.
There are heaps of activities planned for the kids throughout the weekend, including organised games, a lantern stalk on Friday night, and a Sunday morning program too.
So there'll be plenty to do. But if all you want to do is just relax and talk and make some new friends and get to know some people who you haven't had a chance to get to know yet at church, you can do that.
On the spiritual side, there'll be plenty of opportunity for growth and learning. Guest speakers include our very own Pastor Mark Edwards and John Ford from the Lakeside Church in Greenwood.
John's a great character, very engaging speaker and great man of God.
Now, it's all happening from April 1st to 3rd at Camp Leschenaultia in Chidlow. You'll find registration and payment details on the website. That's inglewoodcommunitychurch.org.au.
There's been a few jokes about April the 1st, but this isn't a joke, it's not a prank, it's April the 1st, it's definitely booked for that.
And it's full steam ahead for our church planting project at ECU's Mount Lawley campus, with regular weekly meetings underway, alternately on campus and also in small groups. It's all about reaching local and international students with the message of the gospel.
The ultimate goal is to see people coming to know Jesus and basically planting a church right here in their midst.
But there's a very practical side to this ministry too.
We do a lot of work at the student village. We work with the Red Frog crew as a part of that, cooking pancakes, sausage sizzles, taking them on trips and just basically hanging out with them in their location.
The new church at ECU kicks off officially on August 14th. Work is well underway to prepare for the launch of this new exciting ministry, and your continued prayers and support are very much needed and appreciated.
The 20th of February we had a special event at ECU. We had about 30 people in attendance. YWAM was the worship band for us, and we basically talked about the vision of where the hub is going. And in the next few weeks we'll be starting up some student alpha evangelism teams where we will be having small groups that meet over the student alpha program.
Hey, great to see you. Just wanted to tell you about what's happening at Inglewood Church this month. We're looking at the topic, Real Men Don't Run. In particular, we're going to be looking at the lives of 4 men, pretty ordinary blokes in many ways, but they chose to not run when God called upon them. Real men don't run.
Stand in the place where you live, now face no. Think about direction, wonder why you have it now. Stand in the place where you were.
We get confronted with lots of different things, things that can question our faith, make us question our faith, make us question our place in the world as Christians. But real Christians don't run. And so I looked at the scriptures and I wanted to find some men who, weren't your typical sword-wielding warrior, but yet, despite their fears and despite their concerns, they pressed on. They didn't turn back from what God had called them and asked them to do. He's a guy who questioned God a lot, and God was incredibly patient with him. But to his credit, he did press on. He's an older guy, he looks out for the women in his life, and it's going to be a really interesting story. We don't hear a lot about Joseph. I'm talking about Jesus' earthly father, Joseph. He seems to be a quiet man, but he's also a man with great resolve. When we look at Timothy, we discover that the scriptures don't tell us much about his dad, or even if he had a father, but they tell us that he was raised by his grandmother and his mother. They were the ones that he inherited his faith from. Yet Paul chooses him as a young man to head up one of the growing churches in the area.